All right, everybody, welcome to the J&R Marine office. This is episode 1 of our monthly recap. So we're going to start going over and giving some highlights of what everybody did throughout the month in the boat gang. But to start it off, we're going to talk about what J&R is coming up with in 2026. So in 2026, we got a few things coming. Obviously, we dropped the H26 right over here, right before Thanksgiving, and it's been nothing but fun, honestly. It's been nothing but fun. And we got another thing going right now. All right, so we got a J&R Marine trailer designed by Rob Warden and I. And we got to work out some kinks in the axle, but check this out right here. So you lay your boat down, and we're gonna make a cool video, guys, out of this right over here. I can't see this side. Oh, that's why. All right. So we're gonna make a super cool video out of this. I ordered a red semi-truck tractor trailer that's gonna be pulling this thing, just to give it the more of the real look, because realistically they're not pulled by pickup trucks, these boats, right? So you go over here, you turn it on. Where's this button without me looking? There it is. And you get some lights, right? Now here's the coolest part. Full tilt, beautiful. Look at that. Like I said, we got some issues here. We had the axle. Oh, yeah, my hatch came off. But look at that. Look how cool that is. Look how cool that is. And it sits beautifully, actually, if you get it to sit in the right spot. But you see that? That's what I was saying. So we got to work this through. Maybe, I don't know, I got to talk to Rob. Maybe the fill wasn't 100% fill on the print. But for the most part, guys, look at this trailer. I'm going to put this aside real quick. Customer's Budweiser boat. We're going to do a maiden on it Monday morning. But, guys, look at this thing. Look at the detail right there. That thing is awesome. You get your little key fob. You go down. You got the toolbox up front, the steps to lead up to the front of the boat. It's really, really cool. So this is the first version, and I think I'm gonna, obviously we gotta fix these broken parts, but I think I'm gonna have Rob design a gooseneck fifth wheel attachment so that it's not a basic hitch ball. But here we go. So that's one thing we got going in J&R Marine coming up. And then, so like I said, we had the H26. We got this trailer going on right over here. And coming up very, very soon, guys, very soon, we are releasing, what I have here next to me is the C32 catamaran. So this is a 32-inch by 11.5-inch wide fast electric catamaran. We got a very deep tray in here. You can see that. She's really nice, guys. Really nice. Nice seam all the way through. All right, check out that bottom. So we are going to be releasing this boat in about a month. So probably around Christmas time, we're going to be releasing this one. we're almost there. We're almost there. But real quick, let's jump back to the H26. Whoa. We'll get back to this in a second. We're going to jump to the H26. So the H26 has been out for a while, and I've been working on lowering the price to make it more affordable for the consumer. Because obviously, like everybody else, I'm also a consumer. I buy all kinds of boats. I buy all kinds of shit, right? I got all kinds of stuff back there and in the garage. Anyways, with that said, my goal is to reduce the price of the H26. So from now on and up until further notice, H26 ready to run, just add your battery and receiver, shipped $1,100. You get 3660 Triple S motor, you get a 150 amp fly color ESC, you get all your internals mounted, you get all the transom hardware mounted, waterproofed, stuffing tube installed, turn fin installed. Basically, you're ready to go. It comes with 2 turn fins, 1 swoop fin, and these are Mad Lizard designed fins, which I cut myself on the water jet, and that's what comes with the boat. $1,100, trying to make it a little more affordable. I understand that you can go buy a pro boat or you can go buy something else and get a lot more out of there. I mean, yeah, I mean, you're going to spend a lot less and maybe get a bigger boat, but out of the box, right here, guys, this is a 50-mile-an-hour boat on 4S, 60-mile-an-hour boat on 6S, and it is very capable. Very capable. It's very, very smooth compared to the Vortex 24, where it sweeps the turns a lot better. It's a lot less, it's a lot more predictable than the Vortex 24. So, you know, like we're talking about copying boats. It's not really like a copy. I would say it's an evolved version of the 24. Either way, this is what we got going on over here, right? So we got that. Stick around for a second. So we got the H17, everybody's favorite little hydroplane. Comes ready to go, right? And here's the bottom. We got an air trap. We got the step into the non-trip on the ride pad, etc., etc. We're talking about evolving boats, right? Evolving to make it better. So what I got here is a prototype H17. It's got no air trap. It's got no steps in the sponsons to the non-trips, but it has recovery pads. Now, this one was designed this way because when we're talking overpowering it, right here we got a 2958 rocket in this motor, in this boat. When we're talking about overpowering it and putting a lot of speed in a brushless system through it, what happens is in the original design, the air gets trapped in here and it doesn't come out. It runs all the way through here up until the transom and it gets released back here by the transom. The problem with that is that with these brushless systems, we're overpowering them right away, like automatically. Even with a basic 2835 that they come stock with, they're theoretically already overpowered for this hull. And it's a challenge to dial them in to get them to go faster than 40 miles an hour, 35, 40 miles an hour. Well, that's not that hatch. But we made this boat, I made this boat for that reason. So the air gets into here, and once it passes the sponsons, it gets released right over here. So the boat constantly has to keep working to produce air from not, you know, from coming in and going out. It has to keep moving through, right? So that's why we did this, to get this to be able to run a smoother setup, basically. So if you want to overpower it, you're going to have an easier time overpowering it. Either way, that's what we got going with the H17s. One more thing for you guys, so stick around. Over here we got an H17. Why does it have a bunch of holes in it? And why does it have these weights in it? Well, I'll tell you why. It has a flood chamber. So I made two of these. H17 SR, self-righting. And it's almost there, guys. It's pretty much almost there. It'll self-right with just the hatch on. Mind you, we have to use these weights to counter it. Now, I'm not going to get into too much who, what, why, when, where, but for the most part, I've shelved this project because it still has a, we're not on the final stretch yet, if that makes sense, right? This still needs to be dialed in. These need to go inside the flood chamber, but we got a ways to go with it before we're able to kind of release it. But that is something that we're going to be releasing in 2026. What we have here is Ironclad's custom built wooden drag boat. If you follow his channel, which I'm sure you do, you know that he built this drag boat from scratch, just from raw materials. He designed and shaped every single part on this boat. He ran it a couple times and he broke it. So what I did, well, he sent it to me recently, and with the plan of making this wooden boat into a fiberglass J&R Marine drag boat. So there's a couple things we had to do. It came in pieces. It was broken. He ran it. The battery flew through it. So it was actually kind of broken in half. And if you could see here, you see that? It was broken all the way through there. We're going to evolve this design and make it a more FE friendly hull. First things first, after we put it back together, right? We had to make sure that the preciseness of what Ironclad did over here was very close so that we can start a new baseline. There's just a few small areas right over here that we're now just a little bit lower, right? So we started it, we did a little bit of work, we put it back together, and now we're at the point where we got to put a little bit of filler right here to bring this dipped area up and smooth that out. Make sure that our sponsons and our ride pads are fully true and not changed at all. And right now we're pretty dead on right over here. So the next step. The problem here we're having is tape joint, really. Not the fact that it's wood and not the fact that it's been broken or anything like that. The problem we have here is a tape joint. So we have this hatch, and then we have this secondary hatch back here, cut out of a piece of carbon fiber, just like that. Right over here, not bad. We can tape that up fairly easily. Now right over here, it leaves us with a kind of uncomfortable situation. So what we're going to do is we're going to gain some real estate out of this boat, right? We're going to modify it just a little bit. We're not going to modify the bottom here. We're not going to do anything to that. We're just going to blueprint it to bring it back to its true form. And up here, it's going to be a bit of a process. And I'll be honest, I've had this for about a month now. I put it together right away. It came like a puzzle, and I put it together pretty quickly. I kind of have not gotten the courage yet to take the next step. So what I need to do here is basically I need to create a tape joint. We need to create a tape joint. To create a tape joint, the easiest way to do it without really modifying anything on this boat is to cut it right over here, just like that, into here, create a lip, a negative lip in the tray of the boat, in the gunnel of the boat, and create a flat lip. Make sure that this lip that we cut out stays flat, so that when we lay that hatch down as one piece, this whole thing, theoretically, we want this whole piece to come off and everything inside will be empty. So it's a bit of a process, and what I have to do now is, I already realized this a while ago, but I have to bring this whole area, we got to narrow that up a bit. We got to make that a little more narrow. When I say a little more narrow, we're talking like eyeballing it, something like that. We got to take out these two arches and curves that are in this area so that we can create a nice tape joint right over here. Because if we bring this back to this line, which is about a 1/4 inch back right over here, let's see if you can see that. If we bring that back to that line right there and make that flush all the way through from here to there, then theoretically we're going to be able to make our cut and pull it up. So what the next step is I got to spray foam this. I got to spray the inside of this boat with foam. I got to close this up, seal it so that it doesn't open anymore, and start working it down, sanding away all this, sanding away all that, and then the foam will be left. And that design of foam will then have to be molded with some fiberglass, coated, and kind of tuned in so that we can create our tape joint. And with that, this boat will be done. So it's not that hard of a project. It's just, I haven't gotten the balls, guys. I'm telling you the truth. I haven't gotten the balls to spray this boat with foam and start hacking up the cockpit. So we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm planning on having this boat finished and plugged, meaning I should have the first part pulled out of it by New Year's. The C32 is going to be ready to go, I would say, within the month of December. All right, guys, so let's do this. I noticed that a lot of us bought that Blackjack 24. I proposed something fun for all of us. Maybe we can have a little challenge between the boat gang. Something like this. All stock, stock props, stock batteries, stock electronics, out of the box, 3 categories, 1 winner only, no second place, none of that. Fastest speed, best ovals, coolest blowover. Fastest speed will get my yellow personal H17. Best ovals will get a J&R Marine t-shirt. Coolest blowover will get some J&R Marine stickers. Anybody that's interested, leave a message in the comments. We'll do it, and should be fun. Maybe on New Year's Day we will reveal the winners and have some fun. All right, boat gang? So that's kind of it. Don't want to keep you guys too long. It seems like this video is getting a little long and kind of boring, so I have no idea what this flashing light is behind me all of a sudden, or even if it's been flashing the whole time, but I'm looking behind me and I can't really tell that it's flashing. So excuse me if the video has been a little too wah. Either way, we got a bunch of shit coming in 2026, guys, so stick around. Won't keep you too long. We'll get back to our regularly scheduled program very, very soon. We'll get some boats in the water, and we will get to our new projects and have some fun, guys. So if anybody is interested, H26, contact me through email. I got my website coming up probably in a couple weeks. We should have basically click and purchase. You'll have merchandise, t-shirts, stickers. You'll have some high performance parts like Mad Lizard stainless steel turn fins for big monos, gas monos. We got some other things too that's a little out of the box. We got some Blackjack 29 hatches or Mystic 29 hatches. These are replacement hatches. So if anybody's interested in any of this stuff, kind of hit me up in the meantime through email until the website is up, and we'll kind of take it from there. I'll work with you kind of on whatever you need. We'll set you up. All right, guys. So thank you for tuning in, and thank you for sticking around, and we will see you next time.